Good morning, everyone. My name is Aaron Johnson, and I will be your instructor for TEAC 800, Inquiry into Teaching and Learning. I sent out a note. I know I sent out a note last week about kind of our first efforts and kind of putting together and starting to build community as part of this online course. And so in doing that, I ask each of you to put together a quick introduction of yourself to kind of, again, begin the process of developing community within our group. And there are 22 of us, so there's kind of a large group, and a lot of us have some pretty, like we're coming from different fields, and so I'm really excited about that in the sense that there's going to be a lot of different perspectives offered. And so I really think that will ultimately contribute to a very rich course experience for all of us. And so since you guys are putting this together, I thought, well, it only made sense for me to put together a video as well. And so, but before I kind of spend a little bit of time talking about me, what I also wanted to do was kind of provide a brief overview of sorts of the course. I've already sent out a syllabus, but I think this would be helpful to kind of help further verbalize and communicate some of my expectations for the assignments. And I've already received a couple of questions, and so I will address those as well, because those same questions might apply to more of you than just those individuals that sent those out. TEAC 800 traditionally has been taught as a sort of an introductory course to educational research. It's not an educational methods course. It's not a research methods course. My goal for the course is really to provide you with an introduction to educational research and begin to think about and to consider, what ways what does contemporary educational research look like, and then what does that look like in your own field, and how can this best serve my goals in terms of my program. So the course is designed in a way that's very much, there's some latitude and there's some broadness to it, but that's very intentional, because my goals are for you to grow in your understandings of educational research, and also specifically educational research as it relates to you. And so those are part of my goals. The course itself, we have 3 different texts. Hopefully all of you have acquired those at this point, but they kind of bring 3 different perspectives to research in general. And so I'm really excited for you to engage in these texts. Again, I think you will find them very worthwhile. These are hopefully texts too that'll have a long shelf life, in the sense that they're not ones that you'll trade in or that you won't use in the future, but rather I think these are texts that will stay with you, and again have that shelf life that I'm hoping will be beneficial to you, and again as your growth across your program. The reading responses, you have 15 of them, and all of the course is going to be kind of facilitated, housed on Canvas. So for those of you that may be relatively new to Canvas, UNL is making the shift from Blackboard to Canvas. It's been sort of incremental in how UNL has chosen to do that, but what I've been told is the Blackboard ultimately will be sort of phased out, and it will be ultimately kind of universally adopted or replaced by Canvas. And so some of you may be new to it. I'm still somewhat new to it. So this will be fun, because we can kind of learn this together in terms of how Canvas really helps facilitate some of the dialogue, in particular the reading responses. And so for the reading responses, as I said, there are 15 responses that you're going to make to specific assigned readings. And someone sent me a question earlier about word count. Like, does a response need to be a certain X amount of words in order to qualify? And I hesitate to sort of quantify your work in certain ways, like sort of put parameters around what you can put together. Um, but I would safely think that 300 to 500 words is more than is sufficient for 300 to 500 words is sufficient for these types of responses. And then another question was about prompts. Is there a specific question or something that I should be responding to? And my thoughts on that are pretty defined in the sense that I don't want to control your interpretations of the readings by directing you toward a response with a question, nor do I want everyone to sort of come up with the same posting in your reading responses. And that's typically what happens when I present you with a question, is that those types of responses, and part of the reading responses is you responding to a colleague's post. And so to keep it kind of interpretive in nature and kind of let you explore it as you're so led, I just want you to reflect on it. What resonates with you? Maybe what does not resonate with you? How does what you're reading compare to other readings that we're doing for the course? But that's kind of how it's structured. And so you'll post by every day you have until midnight, and then by 5 p.m. the following day, you need to respond to at least 2 of your colleagues' posts. And I mentioned that we're going to be using Canvas. As part of using Canvas, I'm relying on Canvas to kind of go ahead and put you guys in small groups. As I said, we're a fairly large group with 22 members. So you'll be in groups from 4, and the way I've structured it on Canvas is it's going to change week by week. So you may be as many as 4, you might be as small as 3. It could be 5, but it will be kind of a small groups, and so it gets a little bit of more of a closer setting, and then hopefully that way again we can start to build a sense of community in terms of working with one another. The annotated bibliography, so that's kind of the reading responses. Again, 15 responses, they're 6 points each, total of 90 points. I want you to make sense of what you're reading. And so that space is an opportunity for you to do that, and also to constructively contribute to your colleagues' development in the form of forms of an ongoing dialogue in terms of replying to their post. As I've stated, this course is very much intentionally designed in the sense that your own research interests, your particular goals are inserted into the course. And so that very much comes into play with the annotated bibliography. Ultimately, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be selecting 6 to 8 articles / book chapters that are about a specific topic that you're interested in. And so, and this in many ways dovetails with other assignments that we're going to be doing, including the research action plan. So think about these assignments beginning really with the annotated, well, they're all interrelated, but with the annotated bibliography, it really is going to start to build on that in the sense that you're going to build on it more with the research analysis and then also the research action plan. So be very thoughtful whenever you start thinking about a topic, a possible question, and I'm going to ask you to submit those to me kind of early on to kind of give me an opportunity to wrap my head around it and maybe provide you with some feedback before you get too far involved in it. But you're ultimately you're going to be looking at 6 to 8 articles / chapters, as I said, and you're going to be critiquing them. And then from that, you're starting to, in some ways, to begin the conversation of what research suggests about a specific topic in the form of your annotated bibliography. And I've got more information about these assignments up on Canvas. If you select the Assignments tab, which will be on the left side of your screen page, you click on that Assignments tab, and there'll be more detailed information if I leave something out, for example. But you'll be able to find that information, which will be up all the time, due dates and things of that nature. But the annotated bibliography is very important because it kind of gets the ball rolling in terms of what we will be doing for this course. Building on the annotated bibliography, I put together something I'm calling an analysis of research. So it's essentially a 4 to 5 page paper where you are kind of introducing us to, and I say us, the readers, introducing us to this particular research area that you're interested in, that you have a particular interest in. And then also, given your knowledge now, kind of the acquired knowledge that you have, having gone through this annotated bibliography, what does the research suggest? So you're demonstrating your familiarity with the landscape in a sense of this is what the research suggests about this given topic. And then you're going to flesh that out a little bit more in the sense of you're going to talk about specific studies that you've looked at. But not only that, I want us to move from just sort of summarizing to starting to poke holes in studies. And this is where you're going to start to utilize some of what the readings will suggest in terms of methodologies and things of that nature. But you're going to be kind of giving me a slice of what the field looks like, what this particular, what the research looks like around this specific topic. These are the studies that have been done. These are the conclusions, the findings. These are sort of the limitations. This is, this doesn't quite jive with my understanding, in terms of validity or generalizability or other topics in terms of methodology and interpreting data. You're really going to start to apply the readings in this area here. And for this assignment, you're also going to be submitting, or you're going to be reviewing a peer's work. And this also has been set up through Canvas. It should be set up anonymously where you will receive a peer's work and you'll be able to respond. You'll be able to provide them with feedback, and there are some specific things that I'm looking for as a reviewer for you to look at. The idea, again, is this idea of building community and then supporting each other as we progress, not only through the course, but through our understanding of educational research. And so there's kind of two pieces to that particular assignment. And then building on that, again, like I said, these are very much sort of building on one another, but then you have kind of the culminating piece, the research action plan. You've kind of gone through the process now of looking at research around the specific topic. You have gone through the process of doing this analysis research paper, where you've really demonstrated your understanding, and you've had the opportunity to sort of poke holes in kind of what you've read about. And so the research action plan is an opportunity for you to start to put the pieces together and start to think about a possible research action plan that you could do in the future. Again, thinking back to your annotated bibliography, kind of where you started, your early days interest, kind of what you went through in developing that interest, the acquired knowledge that you gained through that, and then through the analysis research paper, and now the research action plan. Let's put it all together. What could a quality study look like that's of interest to you, and one that you think is needed given kind of what you've done to this point? And this is kind of hypothetical in nature. You're not going out collecting data or anything of that nature, but rather, but this could be a study that you could do in the future. So I would not sort of discredit that or as a possibility. Certainly it could work to those ends in view. And so that's kind of the culminating piece of you putting together a research action plan based on kind of the building blocks that we've sort of traveled through across the 5-week course. And this assignment will be also requiring a peer review, so you will review a colleague's paper and provide them with feedback. The assignment due dates are listed on the syllabus. If you have any questions about any of those due dates or any of the assignments in particular, yeah, I'll be more than happy to help you with that. My office hours are pasted at the top of the syllabus. My office, 212 Henslick, office hours 2:30 to 3:30 on Tuesday and Thursday, 9 to 4. Please make an appointment in advance, or shoot me an email. I'm very responsive to email. In particular, with this type of compressed time in terms of where the 5-week semester, I will be quick to respond to email. So don't be shy about sending me a question if you have one. I guess kind of moving now towards more about me. I am relatively new to UNL. I completed my PhD from Virginia Tech in 2016, May of 2016. So I just finished my first academic year at UNL. I teach social studies methods. My background is I'm originally from North Carolina. I taught middle school social studies for 6 years. I did a master's degree while I was in the classroom. I loved it and decided to do a PhD. And so I'm really excited to be here at UNL and really loving Nebraska. I don't know, you've probably already noticed the sort of the paintings on the wall. I have 3 small children who keep me very busy with all sorts of things, and so that's kind of my spare time is usually outdoors with them doing something fun. But I'm really enjoying being here in Nebraska. I've had some really amazing opportunities, and I'm looking forward to having even more amazing opportunities here at UNL and working with you in this course. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to send those my way. And looking forward to the course. See you guys.